Hello there, this is Mehreen Hashmi, and this is a new episode on my channel, Mehreen Hashmi MH. If you have been watching my channel on my video and my videos, you will know that I talk about art scene, Pakistani art scene, and I do invite my fellow artists and curators from global art scenes as well. So this is another episode of Behind the Art Scene, and I have an amazing artist from India who have worked with me also in the past. I've curated her work and it was displayed in Pakistan. And she is here today with us to talk about her work, her journey as an artist, and we are going to discuss much more. Her name is Khandakar Ohida. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
I'm I'm good, good. Thanks for coming and taking out time for us. So, Khandakar, you are from West Bengal, India, and you are from
Yes.
College of Arts and Crafts. So, for our viewers, what intrigued you to be an artist? You had planned already, or it was a change, a twist in the story, or something like that?
Okay, so it's a long story somehow. As because I normally born and brought up in West Bengal, so there are a lot of art scene already is there. As because all Bengali, so much culturally influenced by a lot of artist writer in West Bengal. So I really wanted to be kind of I won't say like a painter or all, but I really wanted to be something. Like I wanted to speak up, or I wanted to write, or I wanted to paint. But in my family, it was somehow like art. I can't do art, as because they always used to tell like you know it was so ashamed to tell them that
That you are an
I
artist.
want,
Okay.
as because I think because of a specific religion that I belong to, and then somehow I managed them to tell like there is nothing wrong if I paint something. So in this way it started, and my grandfather was so supportive, and when he told, yeah, you can go for art school, so I was so happy that yeah, I started. And then I went to, like, I was in art school, Government College of Art and Craft, and then I moved to Delhi for my masters in Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia. So 2016, I passed out from Government College of Art and Craft in Kolkata, and masters from Jamia in 2018. So since then, I basically stay in Delhi, and I was even staying, but recently because of this COVID 2020, I am in West Bengal again somehow. So I don't know, like when this this pandemic, I think after this pandemic, maybe again I will go back Delhi, or maybe in a different cities in India. So I'm just waiting for that time when it will come.
Yeah, so your work is different. I will talk about mediums later, but most it your work is very much influenced by culture. So that's your
Yeah.
work is speaks for. So is there something particular you speaks for as an artist from India, or it's global?
You know what happened? I think, Marin, you know this very well, as you stay in Pakistan and I stay in India. So obviously, maybe I belong to Indian culture and even Bengali culture, even Islamic culture. So there are, since my childhood, I have seen a lot of layer in my own upbringing, like being a Bengali, being a Muslim, being a Indian, being a woman. So it was always there. And I think when I really wanted to paint, or I really wanted to say something, as since my childhood, it was like, no, you can't paint, you can't paint portrait. So this made me more curious, like what will happen if I make a portrait. And then from that perspective, everything somehow started. And I think that's the reason, because I never seen in my family like they used any portrait figure of any kind of windows cover or pillow cover or bed cover. They always more into that kind of floral design, this kind of thing. And
Yeah,
when I entered to art school, in my department was painting Indian style. And Indian style, it's actually that miniature department, as because in the
yeah,
NCA
yeah, yeah,
there is the
yeah,
department called miniature
yeah,
department.
yeah.
So I were like for my department, I was like more introduced by those artists from Pakistan, like Shahajia Sikandar, Washim. So there are a lot of Pakistani artists. When
Never.
I was working in my foundation year, first year, so our teacher used to say about their work. So we used to follow. And from there, I got a lot of influence from Pakistani artists. And because of my own cultural influence, even those Pakistani artists, how they are following their cultural influence in their work. So in that way, it started. And so that's the reason I think this culture. And then how this, even there are something like, as a woman, I think I can't say that I'm the only woman. You are woman. This entire in this world there are thousands of women who are struggling the
Yeah.
idea of same, the same idea. So I feel like how ethno-cultural thing is becoming a global thing, if you see in that perspective. So I'm trying to show that perspective, whether it can be more global thing rather than maybe the starting from ethno-culture, but ultimately it is reaching to the global perspective.
Yes, yeah. And I see a lot of, it's not only the cultural, it's not, I will explain it to other people as well who are watching here. It's not, and I know this work because I've curated her work. Ahang was a show in Pakistan in 2019, which traveled from Lahore, Karachi, and Islamabad. It was a show about video installations on peace and harmony, and her work was also part of it. And then it was displayed at Karachi Literature Festival. It's one of the biggest literary festivals in Karachi in 2020, before COVID happened, and right after COVID happened. So, in your work, that it's cultural influence. It's not just you're showing the good side of culture. It's speaking also. Because I work on, as an artist, I work on art activism and Me Too and all of that. So in your work, then what is the response in from India art scene or general public? That what do you get when you are showing your people, or is it hard to find your niche as this kind of a particular work?
So, I think if I say myself that I'm an artist and I want to say something, so obviously my medium is art there. If I'm a writer, maybe my medium can be text, or if I'm a singer, so my medium could be music or sound, anything. So in this way, I feel like, whenever I'm saying something about myself, and it's becoming that any woman, or it can be any woman from Muslim background, or it can be any woman from this world, it can be even any human from this world. So there are a lot of things we really really want. I think we always want to say something. We want to say about our fundamental rights. Even if I talk about our home, maybe maybe my mom is wrong for some part and I really want to correct her. So from that perspective also it is coming. So we are
Yeah,
telling like, no, this is something. Even sometimes I feel that it's not like I can be right all the time, but there is a perspective of logical thing. So you have to even deal how much logically you are saying this within this contemporary perspective. So on this way, I think my my practice. And when I won't say that I love to criticize, but the way my work actually I do it, it already become a point of criticism for some specific thoughts about a woman, mostly social norms about women, mostly social norms about Muslims women.
yeah,
So and why I think, because these are the thing I faced in my life. Like when I used to stay in a Muslim girls hostel, I met a girl who is an amazing singer. And once I told her, why don't you sing, as you sing so well? And she is normally a mathematics honor student. So she said, my father won't allow me, as because this thing, she won't allow. I mean, he won't allow. And I felt bad that I couldn't do anything for her. Although
yeah,
I somehow managed to do it. I am painting and I am dreaming my life, but she is not. So that made me more curious to say, to reach my thoughts to them, whether they can get courage and they can start like whatever dream they have and they can fulfill that. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
more like this,
Yeah.
influencing more people.
And art does give you a way of expression in any medium. So and other thing is that you work in experimental videos. So how did you evolve from painting to a digital media? And does it impact your work or way of expression?
Yeah, so this is a really important question, I think. So what happened? I am trained in miniature artist because I was in Indian painting department. So I was trained in miniature painting, wash painting, and wash painting. These three major major medium was my in my department. And then when I was in Delhi is art hub in this in India, and you can find a lot of museums there, you can find a lot of gallery there, even multiple practice. So I think I was so lucky that I was in actually Delhi. Maybe if I was in Kolkata, so I could not think like, oh, I can do art, even I can think art in this way. So when I was in Delhi, I was introduced by multiple medium. How can you practice with a tiny thing? It's more about what's your idea and how you are showing your idea. So gradually what happened, I always love to say story. In my work there are a lot of story, there are a lot of women's story, there are a lot of Muslim women's story, there are a lot of story. So I feel like sometimes it's not about for my all work. For sometimes there are something whenever that time it's coming about that experimental video or film. So film, it's I think it's a medium whether there are a collaborative work plus there are story, visual, audio, sound, lot of things is there. So in that way somehow it's it's more easy to understand, even more easy to express for myself like what I want to express. Because in the painting somehow it's my problem maybe that I am unable to show the way I want to. So for the film, like the story is becoming the another kind of tool to say the actual stories of Muslim woman or
Yeah.
as a human, for everyone. So that's the reason I think I'm more like that now dealing with this idea of kind of painting and how I'm taking even video and mixing those two mediums in a different way.
And you know what I have observed that it did affect after COVID that when you were working in digital mediums, you could send your work. You can you still exhibit it or send it to somewhere. There were online shows or video installations, and and painting what is difficult to send the transportation and everything, and being there physically as well. So yes, yeah, and what's your other evolving your artwork? Have you mixed mediums with miniature, or you take it separately, both of the mediums?
So you're asking like how affect this COVID, after the COVID, like how my practice
Yeah,
has
no,
changed
I'm
or
just I'm asking a general question for public that experimental videos are different and then paintings are different. So do you combine it or it's different?
it depends
What
on,
are the
again I'm saying it depends on what I want to say. It depends on
yeah,
what the story is. If I think like this is the story, I won't able to fix it with a painting. I have to go beyond painting,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
because every medium has some limitations. I know the limitations of painting. I know the limitations of installation. Maybe I know the limitations of video art. Even
yeah,
I know the
yeah,
limitations of film. So it's
yeah.
more, I think, depend on the idea and the context of the story, like what type of story or idea actually I want to explore,
You
what
want
is
to
coming.
explore,
So yeah,
yeah.
so in this way it happens. And nowadays after this COVID, what happened, as because I think we all are somehow more depend on technology, and we are opening kind of 3D
Yeah,
exhibition or
yeah,
virtual exhibition. So I think, and already we are so familiar with this virtual medium kind of video and YouTube and this kind of social media platform. So I think somehow even when I'm working with video right now, so it's really helping me.
yeah,
It's helping me
yeah.
because in the video it's more easy to understand, even if you are displaying in a virtual media. Because sometimes what happens for the painting, I don't think it's too good to display painting in a virtual medium, because we are so familiar for the painting, like we take a kind of
It's
a
our
1 meter distance
yeah.
and we see it
It's
in
our
a
part.
physical
Part.
eye.
Yeah, yeah. It's our first
Yeah,
step to be an artist, actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how is the art scene in India? How do we start? Because in some places in Europe you have to pay to the gallery and to exhibit, or and to enter also you exhibit. And in Pakistan it's free, that you can, you get selection, you go through some channels and you can attend the exhibitions for free. How is the art scene in India? What's the scenario?
So in India, most it's like pretty same, like and basically in Delhi, I will say about Delhi art scenario, because I was there after my masters. I was only there and I was working there. So in even in everywhere, even not only Delhi, like Delhi,
Yeah.
Bombay, Kolkata, or Bangalore, anywhere. So it's more about like there are some government exhibition. For that maybe you have to fill the form and there is a tiny fees, and that you can apply. And obviously there, after that, there are some kind of national award and all. And there are even some shamso, which is totally like as an open call, kind of a residency
Mhm.
or kind of a project submission. There are a lot of art award in India. There are a lot of exhibition in India, so you can obviously apply. And even there are some shows that is like you can pay there a tiny amount, and then you can even also apply. So it depends on who are the founder of those places or the foundation. So on that way it happens.
And I want to know about the residency, Shanti Road residency you did
Yeah,
in
I was there.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was it? Who are the people you worked with?
I think it was really, really amazing. Like in India, there are many residencies for the young artists. Like you can talk about Coach Art Residency, even One Shanti Road. Even in Goa, there are some. There are more. Even there are like Space Studio residencies in Baroda, even in Space 118 in Bombay, Serendipity Art Residency.
Yeah.
But One Shanti Road, why, like I'm so lucky that I got that residency, is because it's a place, and it's so much like family, because it's an apartment. It's an amazing architecture there. And in that apartment we were four artists, five artists there. And we all were from different places, like someone is from Chandigarh, someone is from Baroda, someone is from, like I was from Delhi. They even from Delhi there are another artist. So we all together, we developed different kind of work within that 1 month. We visited many senior artist place, and then we kind of developed different type of
Like
practice,
a
and then we
practice.
showed
Yeah.
our work. So it was really amazing. Like Shanti Road, I think even if you are not selected for the residencies or anything, at least I will suggest for the young artists, like they should visit
Yeah.
One Shanti Road once, because the place itself is so interesting. Even I made a film. There is a one lady who is Mona, and she's an amazing lady. She stays there. So the place itself is so interesting. Like I think every artist should visit once in One Shanti Road, whether
Yeah.
like they get in residency or not, it doesn't matter, but they should visit.
Yeah. I would love to do one residency after COVID, so hopefully, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, please, please.
so much to learn from, and then you are, I believe, artists are connected with each other. We are one
Even
community, so it's so much wholesome experience.
there is
Uh,
another residency. I just forgot to say. It's called, International Residency from Art for Change Foundation. I was a part of that residency last to last
okay.
year. That residency is different. Why? Because there is not only Indian artists, there are some international artists. Even I
Okay.
would suggest maybe after this COVID, if they open, so you can apply that. It's just
Yeah.
something like there are some artists from US, there are some artists from Germany, there are artists from UK. So what happened, like you can collaborate in a different way. You can even know so personally, like what type of practice American woman is doing, like because an American culture and Indian culture is totally different. So
Yeah.
obviously the woman perspective, like the way maybe as a woman I think from India, the way maybe an American woman think as an woman, so obviously that would be different. So in this way you can even get to know, like what type of practice they are doing. So that residency is also great.
And residencies are a good experience to learn a lot.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and there is one thing that I want you to elaborate on, that you are part of SAF and FICA. What is that?
What? I didn't get.
You are a part of SAF, SAF. How do you pronounce it?
Okay. That's a Serendipity Art Foundation. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
what happened? It was a storyteller program by Foundation of Indian Contemporary Art in Delhi. Whether there were, and was amazing program, by Serendipity and FICA. How they made it? It was a I think 3 years kind of contract they had this with this two foundation, and every time they almost select I think 20 artists, and whether they get together and they kind of practice, they learn it's more like mentorship program, as
Mhm.
because there are kind of a video from, there are graphic novel from, there are even more like Jain and all. So in our course we learned, like in my experimental video actually, after that storyteller course, as because there was the first time where when I am actually doing documentary film. Before that my work was more like video, but I was not so much confident to make more in a documenting way, because what happened, like, as because we trained as an artist, not as a filmmaker, I think. So it's a little bit of low confidence we have that can I make a film. So
Yeah.
that confidence actually I got it from that storyteller program. So I think it's really it's something nice that I was a part of that course, and we obviously I developed a lot of different kind of idea how to practice in a different way.
Mhm. And about her work, you can see her work in the description links below. I will mention all the links that you can visit her video installations and the documentary that you have made as well. I will mention these all in the description, and you can see her work and do see her work. It's very impactful and it's very powerful, and you will get to learn a lot as an artist and as a viewer as well. So, Abhi, right now during COVID, and of course, it has affected the whole world. This pandemic has affected us too much. So, what is happening? What's upcoming? Are you evolving your work or doing more right now? Is there something coming soon or in the longer term?
So in this COVID, like since 2020 March, obviously we all were pretty depressed, I think. So
Yeah,
yeah, even for my case, it was quite long. I was just not focusing on the work properly, almost for a long time, like 8 and 7 months. But the gradually, even we were so familiar with this, like, yeah, COVID can happen with anyone. Now just let's
yeah.
stay with this thing, and it will stay with us forever. So yeah, we were like kind of then I think from most probably in June, November and December 2020, as because I was in home, I am working with on a documentary film with my uncle. So, and it's a long project, it's a feature film
Oh.
documentary, and we're like kind of in a middle of production right now. We have a kind of a small team, and we have started in a different way. I hope we will complete this within this 2021 end.
And will it
So
be
let's see.
exhibited in a physical
This
event
is
or online?
no, this is more like we more like a kind of film festival, the way we were executing the entire project.
Mhm.
And let's see, it depends on who wants to take the work.
And do we take it further and have it online or somewhere that we can see, right?
What? I didn't get the
Will it be
question.
will it be exhibited online or
That depends on, maybe first of all, after we complete the film, so first of all we try to send it in multiple film festival, as because this is more like film, not a video art. So we will try to send it on festival, and after the what kind of response we get after that, maybe there would be some, maybe
yeah,
if any museum from India or any gallery from India as a work, as because it's a pretty lengthy film, it's kind of a 55 minutes film.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
long. That's long.
that's why.
That's very long. And it's a lot of work for that 55 minutes that you think
Yeah,
that's long.
that's the reason, like, we are kind of a small team, we are working here
Yeah, yeah.
in my hometown.
Yeah. Like long with long, I don't mean that, okay, long you have to watch it. Long means that you have so much work have been done on that for this long, because mostly videos are
Yeah,
5 or 10 minutes and it's a lot of work. So all the best for it. Hopefully to see it in future.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Thank you so much, Khandakar, for being here and taking out time. It was amazing seeing you and listening to about your work and talking about it and discussing here. I hope to meet you in person and do visit Pakistan.
Yeah, sure, sure. And you please visit to India. We will meet
Yeah,
soon. We will
for
do a
sure.
residency maybe together.
Inshallah, 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 ta'ala, for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone. Those who are watching, please do subscribe to my channel. I'm posting every week, and you can watch these people, artists, curators who have been working with us together, and then learn a lot about their work. And there are different series, retrospective for Pakistani masters, and news about Pakistani art scene, and a lot of much more. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and much love. Bye. Take care.
Bye bye.